Hello, baby. Did you miss me?
Hello my friends, I hope you feel happy. So another granddaddy to consider in your private collection of Gunpla. This time Bandai celebrates the 45th anniversary of the franchise and almost romantically brings us the 40th Real Grade model to refresh the formula and show how much the technology went in the last 14 years of Real Grade Gundam model kit series. I will compare it to the freshly assembled 1.0 version as I bought a new one especially for this video. This will bring a fair out-of-the-box comparison with the model that is not harmed by the time. But believe me and all the legends out there, it is bad. I will also discuss if this is a really as much revolutionary kit as it was advertised, or it's just another RX-78-2 that we know so well and many are already tired of. And last but not least, as much as I like this one, it's a great update with some outstanding technology behind it. The package itself is far from perfect, especially some aspects that should be included in this type of release, and also I have some size issues here, but we will get to the bad sides too. Let's go with the flow. So you are greeted by very nice box art with the familiar Real Grade formula. It's clean and nice, nothing spectacular in the line as this formula is well known, but the cover is for sure eye-pleasing. Inside there are 10 runners waiting for a good time with you and your nippers, instruction manual, a set of Real Grade style stickers and advertisement for an additional set of weapons that you can buy separately, of course, as a Bandai. I hate this move, but more on that later. Engineering behind this one is truly spectacular when you consider how much they put into such a small kit. It's almost like a perfect grade / MGX type of build, downsized to 1/144 scale. You will be amazed. The whole thing took me about 5 to 6 hours without any rushing. The manual is very nice here, you will find some trivia as well as info about the technology inside for each section of this bad boy, that you can read while drinking your favorite coffee. As you can see, we have a few shades of white and grey runners, which is iconic for a Real Grade design, you know what to expect here. But what was unexpected is a crazy, and I mean crazy, amount of details inside the kit. Every part, even the little ones. Oh, and by the way, watch out for the little ones, I mean really. You will find a lot of small parts that can fall into a black hole and be lost forever. So yes, every part, even the small ones, are molded with amazing details. You can feel like you are building a real thing. For sure, this is the best inner frame in 1/144 scale, hard to deny that. It's a new quality and a standard in this size, and I wish for a clear plastic version so much. When we look inside the armor parts, we can also see details. This is really small but great idea. I smiled with every cut from the runners. You put layer after layer, of course you can build the whole inner frame first to admit this piece of art. For those who love miniature painting, you will be in heaven. Let's take a closer look at this beast. And for your curiosity, armor can be easily removed after assembly. As you can see, the details are crazy. Believe me, this video can't show this, and in person you will be truly amazed by this piece of art. Parts dances with each other perfectly. This is a really 10 out of 10 inner frame, and I pay mad amount of respect to the designers. And it's really on the level of perfect grade inner frames. Of course, that feeling goes away when you finish the model. We are also used to the beauty being hidden inside most of the time. The overall build was fantastic and I really had a great time assembling this one, and the outside is as well detailed as the inside. No fatigue problem at all. Stickers are good, but as always, water slide decals will do better. You will find standard insignias here, some shiny RG style stickers for details, and totally awesome effect stickers for the head. There are few knobs here and there, but overall nothing that will ruin your out-of-box experience. And of course the quality of the plastic is top-notch here, as you can expect from the latest kits from Bandai. Let's talk about the appearance itself. I like the more bulky approach here and the details that are everywhere. For some this may be even too much, it is like a good custom build when it comes to appearance. I personally love it. This is my type of thing and I am amazed by the presentation. Only problem I have here is the size. Because it is small, you can admire its beauty from close up and in your hands. After that, when you put it on the shelf, it's just another Gunpla. It's not a bad thing at all, as we all have to admire what goes on here in such a small scale, but still it's worth mentioning. And yes, I would love to see this one in 1/100 scale. And still, like I said before, it's a great piece of art in its own right and a showcase of the advanced engineering that Bandai has developed over the years. I hope that this will be a new standard for the RG line from now on. You will find great part separation, panel lines and little things going on everywhere. Some are similar to MG 3.0, some are similar to Perfect Grade Unleashed, and some are just unique to this one. Still, it is a 2.0 version, so some aspects are similar to the original, just slightly updated. Not a bad thing at all. 1.0 is like a cheap toy in comparison. Really, but we will get to that. Now let's check out all the details of each part of the unit itself, and there is a lot to talk about here. Starting with the head. First of all, I have to talk more about the stickers. Inside the head you will find a red clear part for the camera, but unfortunately the eyes are solid yellow plastic, so you need a workaround for the legs. But thanks to the totally awesome eye stickers, you can get a great effect here at close range. If you look really close, you can see some small nice details that remind MGSD type of eyes. This should be a standard from now on. The same goes for the camera stickers. I'm very impressed. Of course, on board you have the regular stickers if you prefer them. On the back side, this is only visible from a very close distance, but still very nice detail. The head itself is nicely shaped and I love the panel lines here. Thanks to the hinge joint, which is connected to the body by a ball joint with a movable part, you can go crazy with posing. But for me there should be more movement on the sides. In some positions the head can look off, but still fantastic articulation. Panel lines do the job well in terms of presentation and overall shape is great for me. The shoulders can be moved up and down a bit on the peg that holds the whole arm. Like in other real grades, you can move the front and back parts of the armor separately. Unfortunately, the right shoulder armor is a bit loose out of box compared to the left side, but a little top coat will do the trick. You can move the whole section freely and it helps a lot with posing. Speaking of posing, you have a nice joint system here. You can extend this section a bit, which gives you a little more range of movement. Thanks to that, the arms can go as far as they want. Really nice. After assembling you have to use a little bit of force here, so be careful. After a few movements this section starts to move nice and easy. You will find full rotation in the upper arm and nice double bend in the elbow. The range of motion of this section is perfect. Also, you can move this section a little thanks to small ball joint inside the inner frame. It's open really nicely and compensates very limited hands movement range. When it comes to visual side, this is really nice and detailed armor. Details of the inner frame that you can see adds even more realistic feel and multiple color separation brings pleasure to the eyes. The chest itself has a nice gimmick with the opening of the cockpit. As you can see, a lot of small details around. When it comes to movement range, you have nice bend in the chest and a little in the belly section. In one side it's limited, but inside there is a core fighter, so nice that they managed to bring us some movement when it's inside. You can display the core fighter separately if you are okay with the small holes on the sides. It still looks good. You will find limited to no side movement, but the waist section helps with that a little. The whole thing is connected to the waist section by the peg. You can do full rotation. I would like to have more range of motion here, that's for sure. You can't bend it back to match or it will disassemble itself. On the back there are two holes for a backpack, and here is a cool thing. You can use most of the backpacks with this type of connection, so easy kit bash here. Big plus for that. Waist section is well designed, you can move all skirts separately. The right front skirt tends to pop up very easily. but overall they are secured to the ball joints and will not cause problems most of the time. And now some gimmicks. You can extend the hip section a bit, the front and back of the waist can be moved just a little similar to the 1.0. It's not a big deal, but it helps a little with posing. But it's more of an cool thing than a game changer. On the back you will find a hatch that can be used as a weapon holding bag, but it also hides a stand placement. Well, I will repeat myself, very well detailed armor parts with the inner frame that pops up is very pleasing to the eye. In the knee section there is a truly amazing multiple band with opening armor gimmick. The armor dances beautifully with every movement. You can open this armor part for extended movement range of the foot section or just for a visual. Foot section is also nicely movable thanks to multiple joints and nice band. When it comes to overall proportions, I like it. It's not as bulky as you might expect. In person, it's very well balanced. The only thing that is off for me is the length of the torso, and the legs are maybe just a little too bulky in some perspectives. But most of the time it is a perfectly balanced and totally great looking mecha. If you pose it right, it's just 10 out of 10. The colors are also great, red is very bright, blue has a great contrast to the whole package, and I can't say bad words about it. But now we have to face some facts. This isn't a completely new design, it's still a 2.0 version of the first Real Grade, so I keep in mind that some aspects are just update of the original and not entirely new approach. And now it's a good time to compare it to other Gunplas. As you can see now, if you put them in a row, yeah, it is still good but not as impressive as it could be on a larger scale. You will feel that in person almost immediately. You have to get up close to admire all the things that will make you wow! Looking at it with some other RX-78-2 incarnations, certainly it's most complete and detailed, with great articulation on board, great presence and great proportions. And of course it is an achievement of perfection in a small scale. I have to admire that. This kit wins in terms of technology, very intricate and detailed inner frame, but I think if you have most of the 144 granddaddies, you will not be as much impressed as some who got this as a first one. If after a great and complex build you will play with it a lot, do some photography, etc., you will for sure appreciate all the aspects they have included here. But if you just put it on the shelf with other of its kind, I don't know, it's a strange feeling for me and I hope you understand what I mean, just saying. But now, creme de la creme, 1.0 against 2.0. Well, I could just say that 2.0 is like a masterpiece and 1.0 is like a cheap toy, end of story. But let's take a closer look at both. Cool thing is that they managed to put the same amount of runners as 1.0, but build is far more advanced as well as the outcome itself. Well, design wise, the 1.0 presents itself in its own cool way, and I like it. The proportions are a little off here and there, but overall it's a nice design. Heck, for some it can be even better as it's not as much over the top in your face, screaming details. I know some prefer simplicity. The feet are a bit better articulated in 1.0 as you can bend them back a bit, which helps with aerial posing. And when it comes to the unit itself, that's it. The 1.0 is a small, unstable, loose piece of an experiment that started the whole RG line. The pre-built inner frame was a great idea on paper, but the execution is not as good as we could expect. And well, I think that for our regular model makers, this is not a problem. You can use some glue, do some work, and you will get a fantastic piece of art, especially after some painting. But we all know that Gunpla tends to be like a more advanced Lego on the one hand, not just a model kit.
What did you say? What the fuck did you just say?
So I have to speak and judge the result that is out of the box experience, and it's terrible. I may be harsh here, but this is so bad in hands that I can say with all honesty this is one of the worst experiences that I've had with Gunpla's out of the box assembled product. Just avoid it. Buy this one if you want to check out a piece of a model making history, or if you are going to do a proper modeler work here. Like you should, by the way. So for me the case here is very simple, go with 2.0 without hesitation. It's superior in every way and there is no discussion here. If you want some model for a more advanced modeling process or some project, 1.0 will be fine, but you will have to put some work there. It is also great to build them one by one to see how much has changed in 14 years. So yeah, a great small accomplishment for Bandai. 2.0 is a complete product that just needs a few knob marks cleanup and nothing more to be an amazing looking piece of a model. Okay, I will start with this. I don't like this set. I mean honestly, this is nothing new when it comes to RX-78-2 and move with Bandai accessories is a cheap one. They should include them to bring more value to this kit in this regard, and I think most of you will agree with me. Just another release of Granddaddy with the same package we've seen 1,000 times before. The weapons are just a slight upgrade from 1.0 and I am a little disappointed here. But okay, let's play with what we have here. Let's start with the beam rifle. I really like that it's not a simple sandwich. Inside you will find some really nice details. You will find a movable handle with 2 points of movement, it is very nice. And what I can say about that, it's here and it's a beam rifle. 1.0 for comparison. They changed the handle and the color scheme a little and that's all. Well, another classic. It's not over the top and to be honest, I'm not impressed by it at all. You can remove the clip on the back, but be careful. You will have to use some force here. I used my teeth most of the time. The 1.0 version is not problematic in this regard. In some ways, I even prefer the 1.0 look. But okay, you can extend it a little, move the handle for some posing and you can display it on the back when not in use. Shield is crazy detailed on the back, I mean over the top good. You can place it both left and right side and change the position freely. You will find an additional holder that can also be used for close combat incidents. You will also find a pack here that can help you with weapon storage. Beam sabers also can be placed here. And I like this a lot. The 1.0 version got a bit better front for me personally, but here the shield is much better in terms of details and almost perfect. It's also do the job. When it comes to the backpack, you can move these parts to your likings as well as the beam saber holders. They can be extended for some posing action thanks to 2 points of articulation. Really nice. You will also find a shield holder. As I mentioned before, backpack connector is shared by several Gunplas, so you can play a lot with backpacks here. Additional hands are always nice and you will find 2 fists, 2 holding hands, 2 open action hands and 1 for the weapon. Nice set and they are fantastic looking piece. Well, what can I say? At least they managed to reduce the beam effect to a standard scale as the 1.0 was master grade like. Otherwise it's just a beam saber. You can use the 1.0 beam effect and do a little trick to bend it very nicely. It will bring some fresh life to your posing. Well, that's funny. Overall it's a great little piece, almost identical to the 1.0, but the 1.0 is a total flop. You will look at it and it will instantly disassemble. This one got a little lift, nothing major, but the most important thing is that it is stable. As I mentioned before, you can display it separately without any problem. Only thing here is a little gap in the belly section, but overall it is acceptable. Transformation is very simple, you can add wheels to put it on the ground. So yes, I was a little harsh here, but only because I need a premium Bandai set to fully appreciate this package. Really, if they would add this weapon set as a standard, this would be an absolute perfect package. But that is a bit bittersweet, so yeah. Go get the package, it will add some great things here. It is also worth mentioning that 1.0 includes the Amuro Ray figure and you will not find it here. Well, this kid can do some kung fu, that's for sure. I could point out some limitation in the chest, but I will be honest, looking at what they've done here with the core fighter inside, it is great, I can't say anything bad. Of course, I wish for some crazy flex like the high grade origin, but hey, it's still a very good kit for posing and thanks to its weight and balance it can do a lot. It's just not over the top like the Gundam RG for example, and you will find a standard joint system here, but they are sturdy. The only problem is the shoulder armor and the front skirt, which tend to pop up. And to be honest, I also feel that the left arm is a bit loose compared to the right one, so I hope that after some time it will be as stable as it is now and the inner frame will not cause any problems. You can do a lot in the air thanks to the two stand attachment points. The foot could do a little more back bend for aerial posing, and it feels a little off in some poses, but even with some small limitations on board you will have a lot of playtime here. Thanks to its looks, most of the poses look just badass. Price is good for what you get. For those who do not have any of the RX-78-2 in collection, no brainer, go for it. You will for sure be impressed by the inner frame and all the sweet spots of the assembly that is truly amazing and one of the best in the Gunpla world. The result is outstanding. For me it has some size issues, as I would love to see 1/100th of this one. It would elevate some aspects just better. Still, it is a great showcase of Bandai technology behind their iconic Gundam model kits and a new standard for the 1/144 scale. I hope that a new era has just begun and this will be a blueprint for all future models kits from the Gundam universe. You will be amazed by the build and it is so unique that every Gundam enthusiast should try it.